What are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are just going to be talking a little bit about something I've been thinking about for a while now and sort of wanted to make official my plans going forward for the next few years and kind of like my 4-year goal in a sense. As many of you guys know, I've been talking a little bit about why I only run 5K, 10Ks, stuff like that, talking about why I don't run the marathon and what my plans were for the future in that aspect. And while I've always known that at some point I'm gonna start running marathons, I've always wanted to try to give myself a chance to just make sure that I'm completely satisfied with how I perform in the shorter distances before I move up. And with that being said, Callie is gonna try to jump off my bed. Come here. Come here. Okay. Well, maybe she'll just sit behind me while we continue to record. Who knows? Anyways, the thought process is that I'm gonna give myself a little bit more time to try to, win some money in some races in the fall, maybe even do some track races in the spring. But the goal at the end of the day, in 2028, I want to qualify for the Olympic trials for the marathon. To do that, you have to run around 2 hours, 17 minutes, or maybe sub 17. Not entirely sure, to be quite honest, but basically every year, for those of you guys who don't know, Olympic years, I should say, we do a trial system here in America where you have everybody who runs under that mark go to a location. This year was Florida, and you all race in a marathon to see who is going to be allowed to compete for the marathon in the Olympics. There's a ton more that goes into it. Did you just throw it off my bed? Can you relax for 5 seconds? I am so sorry. There's a lot more that goes into like unlocking spots and the times you have to run to qualify for the Olympics. But basically, I'm not too worried about that because I don't expect myself to be fast enough to qualify for the Olympics, so that's pretty much not a problem for me. The real goal is to be able to qualify for the trials themselves. And I have basically 4 years to do so, but I'm really not looking to start that until 2025. My goal right now is to go into this upcoming fall and into the spring, like I said, looking to race to try to win some money, bring my times down, hopefully get out on a track and just enjoy like the last little bit of shorter distance races that I'm gonna do for a little bit, because after that, I think that my first marathon, my marathon debut is gonna be Chicago 2025. Chicago is a great course to run fast. Please do not bark. Come here. Come here. I'm recording. You can go get that. Okay. Chicago is a really flat course. It's very fast, so it's a great opportunity to run fast, of course. And I think it'll be a good opportunity to test where I'm going to be at and what I need to do to get to that place to qualify for the Olympic trials. I think that right now, like if I had a few months of marathon training, I've said this before, I think I could run around 240, 230 without too much difficulty. Yeah, difficulty. There you go. But to be honest, like that's not nearly good enough to qualify for the Olympic trials. So the goal is going to be working on that with Arrow throughout the 2025 like summer and end of spring, depending on how long the buildup he believes needs to be. I believe Chicago is in end of October, early November, around there. Actually, maybe it might be middle of October. I'm not entirely sure, to be quite honest with you, but it's just something that I need to look forward to more. Please do not bark. Come here. Come. She likes to bark because she wants me to go get her toy, but then like I'll put you on the ground and you can go get it, but I'm recording. Okay. Anyways, the goal is to just get ready for the Chicago 2025. I know that I need to at some point race a half marathon to get a good qualifying time to get into a good, probably corral, I'm assuming is what they do for the Chicago Marathon. I know it's separated into like elite and then different start times, which is probably corral system by predicted time. And I'd like to obviously get up in a good group for that. And hopefully that would be a pretty good test of where I need to go from there. I think that like marathon builds is going to be an interesting thing to do. And I almost wonder how it's gonna go, being that it'll be my first one. Arrow obviously doesn't run the marathon, he runs shorter distances, so we're gonna work together trying to figure it out. I also probably gonna reach out to Jared, who actually qualified for the Olympic trials this past, what was that, February, and talk to him about what he has done. We follow each other on Strava, so I get to see all the stuff he does, which is really cool, and he coaches himself, which is insane to be able to do what he did. So very, very respectable what he performed with, and I'm really excited to try to... She's just coughing up a hairball now. Callie, what are you doing? Okay. I'm really excited to see what I can do in a longer distance, because I've always believed in myself that the longer the distance, the better of a runner I am. I was never good at like the 800, and even the mile I, didn't have a great time. I ran like 4:52 in high school, so it's like, that's not really too great. But I do feel like as the distance, excuse me, as it gets longer, as the distance gets longer, I usually am a lot better with handling that, and especially with workouts. Like, I love the longer workouts. Like, it's a little bit of a slower pace, but for a longer duration, I feel like I excel when it comes to that type of thing. So I'm really excited to see what I can do when it comes to the marathon. And I've always known that at some point this was the next natural step, in a sense. Like, I was always going to do marathons at some point. The question has always been when, and I've kind of came to the realization like a month or two ago that Chicago 2025 is probably my best chance to really get a good head start on qualifying for the Olympic trials in 2028, because I really do think I need as much time as I can get preparing to run the marathon. I'm definitely not as talented as many of my peers are when it comes to running. Like, many of the people I trained with in high school and college, like, I had to work twice as hard to get half the results they got. So it's like, I know that I might not have the same talent as many of the other people do, but I know that I have everything that it takes to be a successful distance runner, being hardworking, consistent, dedicated, all that type of stuff. So I know that I have the qualities I need to be on that level. The question is, do I have enough time to do so? And, when saying that, you might be thinking to yourself, well, shouldn't you start right now then and get ready for Chicago 2024? Like, you could be building for the marathon right now and get that experience ahead of time, get a full year experience ahead of time. And while that is probably the smarter move, I will say that I just don't want to leave any regrets when it comes to the shorter distances. That's always been my mindset since I have graduated college. I've always been under the assumption that this is something that I was going to do at some point in the future, but I do think that it's easier to run the marathon as you get older than it is something like the 5K. As I reach 2028, I will be like 27, I think, 26, 27. So, I gotta be making sure that I'm getting the most out of it. And at that point, like, I'm sure I could probably run some fast 5Ks and 10Ks, but my best chance is doing it now, doing it next spring, and then, maybe after the marathon's over, try to go back down for a little bit, but my time is short. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is the plan, this is the goal for the next 4 years, and we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to go down this journey, but I still have some unfinished business in the distances that are shorter. So we're gonna focus on that for the fall and the spring, but just so you guys know, this is the 4-year plan in a sense. So yeah, I look forward to the next 4 years. I hope you guys as well, and I hope you guys can support that for the time being at the very least, and I hope you guys are excited. So that being said, take care, Lowell things. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye from Callie, who's mad that I haven't gotten her toy yet, and I'm probably gonna have to do that right now. So see you guys later. Peace out. Where is it? You put it in my laundry? Callie.